Wow, Mia, that's a big stick. Hey, be careful with that. Last time you dressed as Teddy, you stole all our pictures of the president and replaced them with yourself. What did you do this week? Wait, did you steal that stick? Mia! Okay, I managed to get that stick away from Mia, but this did remind me of another one of Teddy Roosevelt's important policies during his time as president: big stick diplomacy. Just as Teddy Roosevelt brought change domestically with his square deal, he also left a lasting mark on America's foreign policy. Our learning objectives for today are to define big stick diplomacy, analyze the Great White Fleet as an example of big stick diplomacy, and explain the impact of big stick diplomacy on the U.S. and nations around the world. So, what is big stick diplomacy? Well, it's the policy of pursuing peaceful relations while showing off one's strength. This idea comes directly from our 26th president, Teddy Roosevelt, who once said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick. You will go far." Teddy believed in being prepared to use strength when needed, but he also felt it was crucial to prioritize peaceful talks and negotiations. Think about it like this. What if you were on the playground and tried to stand up to a bully who was being mean to your friend, but you were the smallest person there? It would be noble, but there's a chance that the bully might not listen to you. Now, imagine if you had a super powerful zapper that could turn any of your enemies into a snail and everybody knew about it. That would be pretty intimidating, right? In that case, if you asked the bully to stop bothering your friend, they'd probably listen to you, all because of your super cool zapper, even if you don't use it. This reflects how Roosevelt believed nations would behave on the world stage. If a country were to actually use its strength, it could lead to terrible consequences, like retaliation or even war. But simply showing their strength and willingness to use it, even if they never do, could allow the U.S. to gain a stronger voice on the global stage. I want you to think back to the phrase, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." Pause the video for a moment and record what you believe the phrase means in your own words. Understanding big stick diplomacy helps us see how Teddy Roosevelt hoped to make America both respected and peaceful on the world stage, just like the kid with the snail zapper on the playground. Keep this in mind as we set sail to see how these principles shaped our nation's history. Welcome, young explorers, to a monumental moment in history. Can you feel the waves, hear the seagulls? What you're seeing isn't just a fleet of ships, but a powerful message being sent to the world. This is the Great White Fleet. From 1907 to 1909, this fleet of U.S. battleships embarked on an incredible journey, sailing around the world. They were on a mission to peacefully demonstrate American naval power. Now, why do you think Teddy would send these ships around the world without a war to fight? This voyage was a perfect example of Teddy Roosevelt's big stick diplomacy. It was his way of telling the world, look, America prefers peace, but don't mistake our gentleness for weakness. We're ready and more than capable of defending our interests. Pause for a moment and record your answer to the question, how did this fleet reflect Teddy Roosevelt's big stick diplomacy? This journey was groundbreaking. No nation had ever dared to send such a large fleet on a mission of peace around the world. The Great White Fleet wasn't just about the ships, it was a symbol. Teddy used the flashy white and powerful Navy ships to show the world that the U.S. was a military power and that, if necessary, we were willing and capable of using that power. During Teddy Roosevelt's time, countries around the world were changing quickly. Remember, the turn of the 20th century saw massive industrial growth, which brought wealth and power to some nations while others were left behind. Teddy Roosevelt wanted to make it clear to the world that the U.S. was a global power and was not going to be ignored. The idea wasn't to dominate, but to ensure that as America grew, its voice was heard, its interests were protected, and its presence was felt. For many, the U.S.'s approach was seen as impressive. Nations took note, and Teddy succeeded in his mission to make the U.S. a respected global power. But, just like every story has two sides, not everyone liked how quickly America was becoming powerful. Some countries felt left behind or threatened by America's new strength. Remember the snail zapper playground analogy? While some may have viewed you as a hero standing up for your friend, others may have thought you were stepping in as the new bully on the block. Because of America's show of strength, some countries became concerned about the new, strong U.S. Latin America, a region geographically close to the U.S. and with economies still developing after gaining independence from European colonizers, was wary of U.S. intentions. Some of these countries thought that the U.S. wanted to be in charge. They were worried that the U.S. was trying to control them. As the U.S. began to play a bigger role in the world, other countries started to rethink who they should be friends with and who they should trade with. Pause and reflect. Let's take a moment here. Imagine you're the leader of a country during this time. How would you feel about America's rising power? Would you see it as a chance for partnership or perhaps a challenge to your own nation's goals? Big stick diplomacy made America a central figure on the world stage, bringing both admiration and caution from other countries. As we continue exploring, consider this question. Given both its positive and negative impacts, do you believe big stick diplomacy was a good or bad policy for the U.S.? It's up to you to decide. Wow, Mia. I have to say, your Teddy impressions are pretty good. Teddy Roosevelt, with his rugged determination and visionary policies, truly was a transformative figure in American history. He molded a path for the U.S. that would define its interactions with nations for decades. Teddy's actions didn't just affect America. His choices made waves all over the world, showing that a leader's decisions can impact global history. Now, as we say goodbye to Teddy's time, we're about to dive into another big moment, the beginning of World War I. As we go, remember, shaping the future begins with understanding the past. Hey, hey!